Never have I ever pulled anything particularly strange from a patient's body.
Dr. Jones, this is how the game's gonna work. If we ever did whatever the Never Have I Ever states, we're gonna raise our hands and we're gonna have to donate $100 to the CDC Foundation. By the way, we've already raised over $50,000 for them on the 100 Doctors video. If you haven't seen that, link below. We're playing it with a very special guest, Mama Dr. Jones. You asked me to collab with her probably like 1,000 times, and we've been trying to make it happen, and it only took a COVID-19 pandemic to make it happen.
I'm Mama Dr. Jones. I'm an OBGYN and mom to 4, and I have a YouTube channel, and you can find me on pretty much every social media platform under the same name.
Are you ready?
I'm not really sure, but let's do it.
Never have I ever gagged or been visibly grossed out in front of a patient.
All right, you go first.
I, as a resident, the first time I took care of someone who had a really bad postpartum infection, it is just a smell, and I don't know if I want to put that on the internet or not. But
I have a thing with seeing patients gag. So when I would insert an NG tube, it would coil in the mouth and the patient would gag. I would gag myself.
Never have I ever been attracted to a patient.
Nope.
I don't think any of us, hopefully any of us, are ever walking into a room without ever even crossing our mind.
What I will say though, I have patients that occasionally, maybe if they recognize me from social media, they'll make inappropriate jokes. And I have to always bring them back to the encounter. Like, I appreciate the humor, I appreciate the compliment. And I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten good at redirecting the conversation back because it's been happening more and more often as the YouTube channel grows.
Never have I ever pulled anything particularly strange from a patient's body.
Dr. Jones?
Of course I have.
Dr. Jones.
I'm a gynecologist. Even if we ignore the strangeness that is pulling people from people's bodies, the things that come along with gynecology are endless. Anything you can imagine has probably happened.
I frequently pull out pieces of cotton and sometimes even insects out of people's ears.
Oh,
Never have I ever had a movie or TV show I enjoyed get ruined because it featured something medically inaccurate.
all the time. All the time. Isn't that the whole, premise of our reaction videos that we do? Making sure that we run it for everyone else too.
I mean, how do you not watch someone take out a bomb out of someone's stomach in an open forest with no tools and say, oh, I'm comfortable doing this, I've done this before, when they're like a first-year resident? It just doesn't happen.
Never have I ever doubted I would make it as a doctor.
Definitely have done that. I specifically remember standing in the anatomy lab during my first lab practical, my first semester of medical school, and looking around the room at everybody writing their answers down and thinking, somebody left my application stuck to the back of the person in front of me. How did I get here? These people are so smart. I am never going to make it.
It's that imposter syndrome, right? That you feel like, wow, how am I here? And I feel like we all go through it at some point in our medical training. So I was in a 7-year medical program where I did a bachelor's in science and my DO degree all in one. And in order to keep in that program through the first 3 years of undergrad, you have to maintain above a 3.5 GPA. And I remember each time I would get my grades back, I would be just crossing my fingers like, is this the report card that I'm gonna get where I'm gonna get kicked out of the program? And every time it was like 3.57, 3.68, and you would just be cheering with your family that like, yes, you're still in.
Never have I ever fired a patient.
I fired patients.
I don't think I've ever fired a patient.
My mom passed when I was in medical school, and it's a story that I tell on my YouTube channel sometimes. And when a patient came in, started bringing up the fact that she's communicating with my mother in the afterlife, that she's sending warm wishes. And it was polite, but at the same time, I felt like it was crossing a line that I didn't feel comfortable with.
Never have I ever had a patient name their child after me.
Oh, I wish.
I know, I could just quit obstetrics, but it hasn't happened yet.
How many babies have you delivered? Do you keep track?
I don't keep track specifically, but I would guess that it's in the thousands by now. I was just telling a patient this in her delivery last week. It never stops being cool to be in a room and then suddenly there's another person. Like, it's just, it just never stops being amazing to me.
Never have I ever ruined a date by sharing a gross medical story.
I only have to say no because I've been married since before I was in medical school, but I've ruined a lot of my husband's dinners.
Have I talked about gross things on dates where they ended badly? I don't think so. I think that I try and keep it appropriate as much as I can on dates.
Never have I ever been asked uncomfortable health questions by a stranger at a party.
All
the
day,
time.
All day.
You could tell me literally anything as a patient sitting across from me in the office, and it will never faze me. But at a party, even just a mention of your discharge or your problem or a partner who had a symptom, that's just not the right time or place. I just want to drink my glass of wine and not think about that.
Never have I ever forgotten a patient's name or called them by the incorrect name during a patient encounter.
I've forgotten names.
I'm so bad at names.
Have you ever called someone the wrong name? That's tough.
I have a really big fear of doing that. It actually, I'm like, my heart is beating fast thinking about it. I have severe anxiety about misnaming people. So I will often not use names if I'm not 100% certain that that's the correct name, and I'm really bad at it. But what I do really often is accidentally call the baby he or she because I can't remember from one room to the next what their baby was. I will say like, oh, how, is he kicking? And mom's like, it's a girl. Sorry, everybody gets to be a he right now.
I think when I'm bouncing in and out of rooms really quickly during urgent care, and sometimes I'm just like you, I don't want to get the name wrong. So I'm like, how are you doing? Or
Yes.
Can you help Mrs. here with her issue?
Never have I ever made use of a storeroom like they do in Grey's Anatomy.
Oh no.
No.
The medical scene is nothing like Grey's Anatomy. It is so boring and sterile and honest and friendly.
I do have a story to go with that. That's not that, but as a medical student, we were trying to get pregnant and we had gone through some infertility treatments and I was on my surgery rotation and it was the middle of the night. There was nothing going on and I was required to stay in the hospital just in case something was going on. And I got a positive on my ovulation prediction kit and I went and texted the resident, hi, my husband locked his keys in the car and I have to go and make sure that he can get into the house or get back into the car, and made up a story to leave.
So you snuck out.
I lied my way out for a positive ovulation test.
Never have I ever directly contradicted the advice I give my patients.
All the time.
All the time. Doctors are the worst patients.
I can't take my asthma medicine regularly. Definitely don't exercise enough. I forget my birth control pill occasionally. We're all humans.
I want to sleep 7 to 9 hours a night because I tell patients how important it is. Tomorrow I have to wake up at 4:40 a.m. to do CNN. How am I gonna go to sleep and get 7 to 9 hours?
Never have I ever worked with a super genius teenage doctor like Doogie Howser.
I mean, I've worked with brilliant medical students that I knew were 100 times smarter than me.
Like every medical student right now.
Yeah.
But not a teenager. Did you see the story a while back of the kid who had pretended to be a physician for an extended period
Yes!
of time? He dressed up and went to a hospital or clinic and saw patients.
How does that happen?
I don't know. And how does nobody that works at the hospital go I've never seen that person before, and also he looks to be about 16.
Never have I ever come to the rescue in public when someone asks, is anyone here a doctor?
No, but I've seen your story about being on the plane with the anaphylaxis. And here's the thing. I don't ever want that to happen to me because I don't treat those things most of the time. I feel comfortable doing it if it happens, but it's not something I want. However, if someone's gonna accidentally have a baby on a plane, I am set. And I would be more than happy to do that because if your baby's coming on a plane, it's probably gonna be a very easy, quick delivery. And then I get to say I delivered a baby on a plane.
Dr. Jones, this is so funny because I'm really late to always answering people because I'm trying to juggle 5,000 things. And I've seen messages from you and a lot of your fans, by the way, which you have many of, always say, collab with Mama Dr. Jones, collab with Mama Dr. Jones. And I'm like, I want to, I promise it's happening. And it took a worldwide pandemic of COVID-19 to get us together to talk about never have I ever experiences in medicine.
Well, I'm so appreciative because since day one of me posting, people have filled my comments with that. And now maybe they'll comment on my videos and say something else. Someday when we can do something other than Skype, we'll have a real in-person collab.
Highly recommend you check out my 100 Doctors video. I literally interviewed 100 doctors. Or if you want a really good laugh, check out my meme playlist while you stay happy and healthy.